Welcome to another episode of High Proof Ashes. I am one of your co-hosts, Jason JB Smoke, and over to my right, of course,
Yeah, I know what it is, man. No cool nickname. Duran, back at it.
back at OCL.
Yep,
One of our favorite spots. Keep
absolutely.
saying, y'all haven't come and checked them out. You really need to. Great atmosphere, lots of lounge space.
hmm
That's really one of the like different things about this place is, they are a lounge first,
Yes,
more so than anything else.
absolutely. And hopefully, very soon we'll be expanding to even
Yeah,
more,
and
right?
even more launch space. That'd be
Yeah,
great, right?
yeah.
But I mean, they probably have 4 or 5 times as much lounge space as any other place. You know, I'm gonna say I don't want to say this size, but like this kind of
Yeah,
setting, right? In
yeah,
a
for
in a
sure,
small town,
for
whatever.
sure.
A lot of places you go to, they might have a large humidor and they've got like 4 seats.
hmm
So
They've got their
um,
their everyday people that come to smoke, but outside of that,
yeah.
you're not getting in.
But I will say, we've been to a lot of lounges newer to us, right?
Yeah,
And a lot of them are starting to really jump on this wagon of
hmm
providing more lounge space.
yeah, for sure, for
And
sure.
I think they want people. They're figuring out it's better to have people stay,
Yeah,
right?
because if you're
Walk-ins are
staying and
great,
smoking and creating that environment where people want to
right?
be, you're definitely going to sell more product.
Yeah,
So.
I mean walk-ins are great, but your repeat customer that wants to
Mhm.
come in and hang out
Mhm.
and bring other people with them to hang out,
Yep.
it's a pretty big moneymaker. But anyway, so new stuff,
Yeah.
just as always.
Few things.
Um, our cigar for today, we've only done one Plasencia up to this point. I mean, we're just about to hit 100 episodes, and it's crazy to think we've only done one
One
Plasencia.
Plasencia. Yeah.
This is one of their quote cheaper offerings because Plasencia has gotten a little crazy with their pricing.
Yeah. No lies.
Like they used to be sub 20, now most of them are over 20.
This one is still sub 20, but
Right.
it's expensive still.
So this is the Plasencia 149 Cosecha. I don't know if
Cosecha,
I'm
Coseca,
no,
something
no,
like
no,
that.
no,
We
no,
don't know.
I
We
don't know
don't
if
know
I'm
how to
saying that
pronounce it.
right.
Yeah.
But what's this run?
About $18.
Okay, wow, really?
Yeah, about
Even
18
these have
bucks.
gone up because these were like,
So this is a different Vitola. So normally
oh,
the ones
okay,
we get here are not this size. They're
okay.
a little smaller.
Maybe I'm thinking of the other one. They have another one that's similar to
It's
this.
definitely the 149. It's just that there's one that is smaller.
Oh,
It's a
is
different
that what it
Vitola.
is? Okay, all right.
So
But sub 20, and Plasencia, they make a ton of stuff for tons of other people.
yeah,
They grow just so much tobacco
yeah.
and sell the tobacco to
They've been
other
around a
rollers. Been
very
around
long time.
forever.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
they've been around a very long time.
they are one of the largest makers out there.
Yes,
You
they are
know,
definitely a premium cigar manufacturer.
yeah. So they've, let's say, somewhat recently been coming out with their own lines with
hmm
their own name,
hmm
and they are very proud of it.
Yeah, I mean, of
So
course they've got the octagon, or maybe is it hexagon
yeah,
style? I think it's hex. It's not octagon.
yeah. I think
That's
it's a
eight. It's the
hexagon.
hex. So they've got a lot of
Hmm.
they've got a lot of SKUs as well. I've I want to say ahead of time, I've never had a bad Placencia,
I
right?
agree with that. I agree with
I'm
that.
just not a huge fan of the price point.
Right. I mean, I think I've talked with a few lounge owners, about it. Just like, what do you think's going on? And they think that it's just that they're trying to place themselves in a as a luxury,
They're a premium
super
cigar.
super luxury product.
Yeah,
Like Davidoff,
yeah.
right? Davidoff is not sitting here telling you that this is a better cigar.
No,
They just think that that's the kind of market
it's
they want to
pretty
be
much
in.
if it's not for you, if you can't afford it, it's not for you.
That's right.
That's exactly what they're
That's
saying.
that's
Like,
what and that's
it's
what
just that simple.
Placencia is getting to, I
Yeah.
think. But that's my personal opinion. And then the spirits for today. So we got somewhat of a little battle here. I brought one, and Duran brought one.
hmm
We thought it would be good to battle these two. So I have something that I picked up when I went to the Barn Smoker up in Kentucky.
hmm
Um, so this was at one of the liquor stores in Kentucky. I'm a fan of the Smooth Ambler brand.
Yes.
I think we've talked about the Contradiction Rye is probably one of my, you
For
know,
the price point, it's kind of hard to beat.
like it's one of my favorite criteria
Yeah,
bottles.
it's really hard to beat for the price point.
Especially being a rye, it's really good. But this is the Smooth Ambler Old Scout Rye Single Barrel
hmm
Cash Strength.
hmm
So it's a straight rye. This is almost 120 proof. It's like 119 something, and 4-year aged. Yes, it is MGP. So no ambiguity there, right? They tell you right there, distilled in Indiana, so it's
Yeah,
probably MGP. Um, which means it's probably the 95.5 rye.
probably.
So, but it's enjoyable. For me, I've never seen this bottle before, so when this bottle's gone, it's gone.
I got you.
But we're gonna pit it against.
Well, this is this is our home state, right?
Yeah, man.
So this is a single barrel proof rye. Comes in at 131.3 proof, so it is a heater.
Wow.
I
didn't realize it was that much.
And listen, Jack Daniels, man, I am not the biggest fan of Jack.
No, me neither.
But if you're gonna do them, you've got to do the single barrels, and you got to do the high proof stuff.
And it's, man,
phenomenal.
I don't quite remember that one, but
you can see
it's taking a hit.
It's definitely been it's been smacked around a bit.
Yeah,
it's been smacked around a bit. Nothing special about this one. This is just the regular single barrel rye. So you can get select single barrel ryes.
Right.
But yeah, we're gonna try them out and see which one ends up being our favorite. I think I already know which one it will be, but
I mean, so neither one of them is like a pick, right? So no,
they're both just standard,
right.
Straight off the shelf type joints.
Standard cask strength single barrels.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So I've had this cigar before, but it's been a while.
It's been a while for me as well. I do know, like when I go with Plasencia, this is the one I go with most often. But again, it's in a different Vitola, so it's normally a shorter smoke when I go with this. So we'll see how this Vitola works out, and hopefully it's pretty good.
For the foot, it's interesting. The cigar doesn't have much of an aroma, but the foot,
yeah, it just smells like tobacco. Foot is much stronger. It has a pungent type of smell.
It's very pungent.
All right.
What we got here?
So let's see. I did a V cut on the last cigar I smoked today. I'm gonna not do that again.
Okay. Yeah, I think you kind of learned on that one that a V cut's not meant for every cigar.
Yeah. Don't remind me.
I mean, but it's hey, this is a good way to say, like, if you're having a cigar for the first time, unless you're just adamant about V cuts or punches or X cuts or whatever the hell they call them, go with a straight cut for the first time, and then start playing around with it, right? You need that baseline. You need to know, like, because most cigars are made for a straight cut.
So we both used dummy cutters.
We did, yeah.
And I was going to say we should show our cutters, but we both went with dummy cutters.
They're both barn smoker cutters.
And they're both from barn smokers, so
yeah. So I'm a fan.
Still stand for fanboys over here.
I am a big fan of the dummy cutter, even if I have to snip twice.
Yeah,
I don't care.
That was where I was going with that. Like, so I only cut once, but if it's not enough, if the draw's not good enough, I'll go back a little bit later, and you might see me cut again if the draw's not good enough. But the cold draw seemed to be just fine, so we'll see.
I mean, great draw, not tight at all. Love that. Can't stand it when I get up. Man, I got that same flavor as I got on the foot.
Yeah, a little pungent, right?
Yeah, and I can't quite place that flavor. Not getting an even light.
I'm not even gonna lie. It's been so long that I've done this that, like, I definitely expected it to be stronger.
Yeah, I mean, you look at it and you would think it would be too. I know that the wrappers and everything, but
yeah, a bit of a letdown for strength, man.
Well, we're in the foot. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, the foot, again, there's a bit of oakiness in this.
Got a spot that does not want to catch.
Tad bit of oakiness. So where are you starting as far as your spirit?
I think that I'm going to have to go with the lower proof.
Okay.
I mean, I'm saying that like it's low proof. It's still 119.
Yeah.
But they say that if you're tasting like this,
You should go up.
you should go up.
Yeah. I'll do the same. Do the same.
There you go.
Oh.
That smells nice. Doesn't smell overly proofy.
No, it does not. It does not. Uh, to be completely honest, it's kind of tame on the nose, man.
It is.
Like,
it's not.
For it to be a rye,
Right.
it doesn't kick like a rye. What's up?
It's kind of light on the nose. For it to be the proof that it is, and to be a straight rye like it is.
Like, truthfully, like, really all I get is kind of ethanol.
Yeah, I don't get a whole lot out of it.
There's not a whole lot on the nose that jumps out.
I mean, so it definitely tastes like a 95.5 MGP rye.
Yeah.
Right, I'm getting that.
The rye spice is definitely there, but it's not overwhelming.
Right, it's kind of light, but you get the rye flavors, but they're not overwhelming. It's not really. I had a rye the other day. It was a Balboa rye, and the flavor note. It took me a little while to kind of get that flavor note. No, it was a new riff. Yes, it was.
Okay.
And I was like, this tastes hoppy. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It tastes like the taste you get when you drink an IPA.
Yeah.
Not that bitterness so much, but all the other flavors that were kind of there.
Okay.
And that was interesting. It was like a hoppy, whiskey.
It makes sense.
But this is just your. I don't want to say it's a standard rye, because I think a lot of standard ryes are overly spicy.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is pretty smooth. Nothing outstanding about it.
But there's nothing bad about it
No.
either. So when it comes to ryes, and I'll say this: when we first started doing ryes, we weren't necessarily fans.
No.
And I was told that was because we're drinking the wrong ryes.
That was very true.
So the moment that we started picking better ryes to drink, I think I fell in love with them. So I really do love the right amount of rye spice, because it really does pique your interest in it.
Yeah.
And it stands out. So.
And some of them you get like some herbs, right? You might get mint, stuff like that. And that's it's always nice and interesting to get a slightly different flavor profile. You got some good smoke production there.
Yeah, for sure, man. Like, again, so it's not as if we're smoking some budget brand cigar. Like, they're manufacturers that have been doing it for quite some time, and they do it well. It's just they're pricey. But before we get too far, I've been trying to be better about doing this, and I didn't do it last time. So listen, man, we're trying to make good content for you guys. So please make sure that you like, comment, subscribe, that you hit that little notification bell so you get notifications when we drop new content. Yes, we enjoy smoking, we enjoy drinking, but we do this for you guys because we could smoke and drink and not be on camera. But
hey, we set up the camera, we grab some bottles, we grab a few sticks, and we have at it.
Yeah. So like I said,
good time.
This is the podcast for folks who want real world. I don't even know that we really do reviews. I don't want to call them reviews. We just give you our personal opinions, right? I'm no expert, so I can't tell you what's good for you or bad for you, but I know what I like.
So like a review is intended to be like educational, I guess, right? Mm-hmm. And that's it, right? It's a quick fix, right? To tell me about the cigar and that sort of thing. And we do incorporate some of that into this, but we talk about other things. We talk about how the cigar pairs with the spirit.
Absolutely.
We might give you some history about the cigar, mm-hmm. or the manufacturer, or how we found it, or some other side story that we find interesting.
And speaking of that, we didn't do that. So this cigar is Honduran.
Yeah, this is a Honduran
So
puro.
wrapper, binder, and filler, all
Yes.
Honduran. So when he says puro, that's what that means.
Right.
So yeah, Honduran.
Which you don't see lots of puros out there
No,
anymore. You know, maybe
no,
Nicaraguan puros are pretty common, but other than
yeah,
that, like, you know, you see multi-country blends.
absolutely.
You know, they're very very common. And Plasencia, where I don't know where they're out of. Are they out of Honduran or are they out of where?
Don't get me telling no lies.
I
I mean,
can't
I can look it up real quick,
I can't
but
remember like where they're based out of.
yeah.
But um, you know, most of these guys are based out of somewhere, and if they're going to do a puro, it's wherever they're out of. And I
Yeah.
don't know that they're out of Honduras.
I don't know for sure because they have other ones. Like we were just looking at some others, and
Yeah, they had Nicaraguan
they
in
had a
them and
Nicaraguan, so I
all
don't
kinds
know
of stuff,
exactly
right?
where they're out of.
And like I said, they make a bunch of cigars for other people,
Yes.
or people buy their tobacco and they roll it themselves, right? And you know, you can go look those up. But the brand that comes to mind right off the bat is Crux.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lot of I think 90% of their cigars are Plasencia
Placencia, yeah,
cigars.
yeah.
Um,
And Crux is more of a boutique brand.
right, they are,
So
but they are they're very
they're
affordable.
more affordable.
You know, they're $10-12 cigars.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah.
and they have a wide range of different flavor, you know, profiles for you to, you know, smoke through.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was what was it, the Bull and Bear? I think was
I don't
turned
know.
out
There was one that we
turned out
liked a
to be my
lot.
favorite.
There's several actually,
There are quite
but
a
there was
few.
one that we really liked, and I
Mm-hmm.
can't remember what that was
I
at
think it was
all.
the Bull and Bear, but you know, that's the fun thing about cigars, man. Like you go around, you find these weird brands, and then you find out, oh, you know, so and so makes them, and it's
Mm-hmm.
like that's okay,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because like it's still a different blend,
Yes.
it's still a different cigar.
Yep.
You know, so don't think that just because somebody, you know, AJ makes tons of cigars for people,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Or Arganosa, you know, Davidoff.
Yep. Yep.
You know, a lot of these companies make cigars for other smaller companies.
They do.
Espinosa, you
They
know,
do a ton.
they do a
Like,
ton,
yeah,
right? And so
they do.
that shouldn't deter you from trying new stuff. You know, and this is a good one. You know, I call it their budget line only because it's one of their cheaper ones, but it's still not cheap.
Mm-mm. I will say this is the first time like smoking this that I'm getting like this really strong, like pungent, oaky, nutty, woody. I don't know exactly what it is.
I'm with you on the nuts. Like
Pause.
I, I knew it was coming.
Gotcha, bitch.
As soon as I said it, I knew it was coming. Actually, I said something earlier that I was surprised.
I was like,
that you
yeah, I'm
didn't
gonna let
get
him
me.
ride on that one.
I was surprised you didn't get me on that
Let
one.
him go.
I don't even remember what it was now, but yeah.
But it does like listen, man. You can look at the ash and the construction, all of that stuff, and see that it's definitely a very good cigar, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm doing my very best to smoke slower so that I don't mess up my burn. But I also use a different cut, right? I didn't go V cut.
Can you tell a difference?
Yes, absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely. With the V cut, my V cut cuts pretty deep, so it was probably giving me way more
Right.
on the draw than I needed to have for that specific Vitola.
Or just that specific blend in that cigar or
Yeah.
whatever, right? Because I mean, it was a Toro, right? So that's
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of a normal size cigar, but it just burned differently and just wasn't conducive to a V cut.
No, it was not. Like realistically, like I said, if I had it to do all over again, I probably would have done a really close V cut or a really close guillotine cut, right? Like just barely take anything off the cap. So, but
Man, so I'm enjoying this. Like this, like I said, it's been several months probably since I've had this.
yeah, for sure.
You know, I just nothing against it. I just haven't gone back to it.
Again, I know why I don't go back to it, right? One, I don't own any of them. Like, I only get them if I go into a lounge.
Singles,
right?
By singles, yeah.
And I don't own any because of the price point, and there are just things out there that I think smoke just as well. Not saying this is a bad cigar by any means, just things out there that I enjoy as much as this for a better price point. And
Yeah,
yeah.
I
Leave
feel
it at
you.
that.
No, I feel you. Like this is a really good cigar. It's not quite the flavor profile
Mm-hmm.
that I gravitate to,
Mm-hmm.
and for the price point, it's hard to kind of justify the purchase.
Absolutely.
You know, so
I
Um,
will say that I think this pairs very well, though. Surprisingly, like I keep finding myself wanting to take a draw, come back to the bourbon, right, and which is
so,
kind
and
of crazy.
it also opened up in the
It did.
glass.
It did. It opened up
Like
a
I'm
bit.
getting kind of like caramel apple,
Mm-hmm.
caramel green apple. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah. It's pretty enjoyable.
like I'm in a one of those shops that makes like caramel corn and caramel apples and you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Like it kind of smells like that. And even the rye is a bit more
Yeah.
on the back end.
But
It's
again, I think they pair well.
this is a good pairing.
Kind of worried about how that extra proof on the Jack is gonna, you know, spin the block.
I don't know. I definitely recall really enjoying the Jack. I had
Oh,
one.
I know
I
for a
finished
fact.
I
Yeah.
finished the bottle off.
Yeah.
Haven't bought another one, but that's no knock on the bottle. We'll get to that one eventually.
Definitely not a knock on the bottle. It's just I don't remember what I paid for that, but I know they're not cheap.
I, I want to say the standard single barrel that just is on the shelf is like 60 or 65 or
That
something
sounds
like
about
that.
right. That's what I was thinking, honestly.
65 I think is about what they run. The selects are like $80 to $90
Yeah.
depending on the store, something like
Yeah.
that, right? Yeah. And you were talking about the strength like wasn't there, but I mean for me the strength is kind of there. Like it's not
It's not
blow
what
you
we just
away,
smoked.
but so you think this is less than what
It's
we?
definitely less than the last cigar we
Interesting.
smoked. You don't think so?
I think they're close. I think they're close. I think the flavor is less.
Okay. So it very well could be that we also ramped up the proof on.
This is, and yeah, I mean, so we went from bourbons to ryes,
Yeah.
so that could
And not
also
just
be it.
that, we also just went up in
In proof,
proof,
we certainly did. Yeah.
so um,
So you
that
guys,
could
if,
be it.
if I think we've said it before, but if you've never caught it,
Mhm.
we tend to do multiple recordings at a time, and
Yeah.
who knows what order they're going to drop in, like or when for that matter. Um, but so yeah, our previous recording today, we definitely did some lower proof stuff. One of them was sweet, a little
Yes.
sweeter. These are not that.
I'm glad it didn't linger.
Right.
I was worried that
Right.
how sweet the last thing we did would
Yeah.
kind of carry over to this episode, and it did not. So that's a good thing. That's a good thing. But again, I think the cigar is enjoyable. I just
The price gets you. It's
yeah,
the price. The price
it's
is just
definitely the
it's a
price,
much.
man.
It's a bit
It's
much for you,
definitely the
right?
price.
So what would be a price where you would be okay with buying this on a regular basis? 12?
12 to 14, right?
I'm
And
at I'm
even
at 12.
then,
I'm at 12.
I just don't know for a fact that it would end up on my list at that price, because there's one that's just always there, that if
It's
it's this and that,
yeah, I know which one. It's unfair. Like it's just unfair to include that one.
you know.
Um,
So, and I'm not gonna say it because I don't want to knock it, but and then there's
but if this were, I can tell you, if this were $12, right? And here at OCL, they have a decent selection of Plasencia.
yes,
They usually have a pretty decent selection. If I was to go in there and want something that I haven't smoked in a few weeks or whatever, and I look over and I see this at $12, I'm gonna grab it.
yeah,
At 18, I'm not gonna grab it.
yeah. And that's the thing.
And that's
So
I know that seems silly, right? The
no,
six
it doesn't.
dollars.
It doesn't, man. Like realistically, like sometimes it's so regardless. It's not even about the money, right? Because it either I don't think about 12 to 16 or 12 to 18. I don't think about that realistically. It's more or less like what I like to smoke, right? And I'm a creature of habit. Like everybody, I think at this point, everybody in our podcast universe knows I'm a creature of habit. I like to smoke what I like to smoke.
Yeah.
You always get me because we have to do something new, right? Because otherwise, they would just see me with a constant rotation of like 4 or 5 cigars.
And we listen, like we've dropped like I think by the time this airs, we're probably going to be either at or over 100.
100, yeah.
Okay, and we've smoked damn near 100 different cigars. Like we've
I can
had
only think of a few that we've repeated.
like like during the blinds, we smoked something we'd smoked before.
Yeah.
Right, but I think that's about it.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know that we've, and then we've done a few episodes where we didn't smoke at all. But we've had 80, 90 episodes at this point. So 80 or 90
different cigars.
Different cigars.
Yeah.
And there's still just so many out
There's
there.
a ton. And again,
we haven't even scratched the surface.
I know we've got to bring you some things that we don't necessarily like, right? Like we've got to try a Gurkha. We've got to try a Macanudo, right? You ain't never going to get no Quorums or no Cuban rounds. So that's just not going to happen. I'm not smoking those.
I thought we did a Macanudo that was actually...
We did a while back, right?
We do it like an Inspirado, I think.
Maybe.
I think it was one of the Inspirados. I actually enjoy the Inspirado line.
And there's some other stuff out there that we need to do. Like we haven't done a whole lot of Rocky.
We haven't.
I know we need to get. We haven't done the ALR still.
We haven't, have we?
No, haven't done the ALR.
Damn, we need to do that. That's a good cigar.
So we need to do that. And there's a lot of stuff out there that we need to do. Again, y'all tell us what you want to see, right? Like, as long as it's not, I'm not buying $40 Gurkhas. So I'm just telling you now. Like, if you want me to smoke a $40 Gurkha, you're gonna need to send it to me. Like,
right.
You're gonna need to send it to me because I just haven't had one that I enjoy. And yeah,
I understand it.
So,
I do. I get it, man. I totally get it. But saying that, right? We're like 80 different cigars.
Mhm.
I mean that that's probably 0.1% of the cigars out there.
Yeah.
Right. So, and we've smoked plenty of obscure brands, boutique brands. So you don't always have to stick with the big guys.
Yeah. No, you don't. Like, I mean, and again, we've said a million times, like
you've been surprised by several of these little boutique ones that I gave you. Like the Southern Draw.
Yes,
Manzanita.
That one shocked me a lot. I ain't even gonna lie.
Like became my new favorite Southern Draw. Like it shocked me. So.
But you just need to try different things, man. Like there are so many cigars out there. Everybody has their own opinion. Everybody has their own palate, that type of thing. So it's up to you to figure out what you like.
I just think it's fun. I think it's fun trying new stuff, because you never know. You might find your next favorite cigar because you ventured out a little bit and tried this thing you've never tried before.
And I found that a couple of times. And the problem for me is like, I like so many cigars at this point that it's hard for me to keep everything I like in stock.
That's
for me.
That's fair.
And the other problem is I'm a creature of habit. So like I enjoy smoking the stuff that I really like.
Mm-hmm.
So when I'm not doing the podcast, you're probably gonna catch me smoking something that I smoke all the time.
Yeah, I mean, I've got the cigars that are in a quote regular rotation. There's probably a good dozen that I smoke a couple of times a week. Just being real. I make sure that I buy them by the 10-pack or by the box.
I can't say that anymore because I've just gotten to the point where I'm so busy that I'm not smoking as much as I used to, right? So it's podcast days.
I'm fixing to be like that. Yeah. Like I got to go to bed earlier to go in the office now, and so I can't stay up, late like I used to.
Right.
And
so it's podcast days, it's whiskey Wednesdays, and then it's one or the other, right? So like a lot of times it might be we may not record for a week, so it's and then I've been missing whiskey Wednesdays as well, so I might only smoke once a week now.
But hey, the weather's getting nicer,
and I'll be out back.
You'll be sitting outside.
Yeah,
man. And hey, pretty soon, I hear you might have your own lounge.
That might happen.
Maybe.
We'll see. Yeah, we got some things working. We'll see. You never know. But we've crossed over about the halfway mark, so I'm gonna go to.
Have we? Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to my next pour.
I think we might be past that point.
Halfway, man, halfway. You didn't check your watch this time around, did you?
I did, and I'm thinking that we're way past the halfway point.
You might be right. You might be right. You might be right. And of course, you see we're hydrating, right? Like, I know it doesn't look like it, but in between episodes, like, I chugged a bottle of water. You know,
Ooh, this thing's approaching hazmat. What's a hazmat bottle?
it's got to be what 140,
140, right? I think that's what it
140.
is.
I think it is. So this is close. We've got a few hazmats.
Yeah, yeah, we do.
I've got a King's hazmat, 17 year.
Yes.
Um,
Ooh, that aroma.
I might have went a little heavier than I wanted to there.
It's almost. Hmm. I'll let you get a smell first before I say anything.
Rye, like all of it.
See, that's funny because I get a lot of complexity.
But the thing that's just like it's candy, right? Then there's rye.
I'm getting a lot of baking spices like anise.
Bananas is a traditional Jack
Bananas.
smell, right? So I don't think I
Can't
need
get
to
away
bring
from
that
that.
up. Like if you know
But
anything about Jack, that's a big
it's
part of
hard
what
to
you're
get
gonna
away
get.
from the bananas, but I think these are not overly banana, right?
Look at the color though.
Yeah, I know it's great.
Like that's
Yeah,
okay.
that's a
That
great.
color, that's just and like man, I'm looking at the legs just coming down the glass on this.
I smell that, and it. I don't believe it's 130.
It doesn't taste
Like
130 either.
that's. I mean, it's not like I'm burying my nose in the glass, and I'm not getting the crazy ethanol.
Tannins.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
Okay. Good bottle, but they ain't in the same stratosphere.
Ooh. Oh, that's a lot. It's very dry. There's a lot of tannins in this.
Yes.
Like
Get
I got
past
it.
it. Come on, get
Oh,
past it.
I'm fine. I love wine, so I'm good with tannins. But because I got it immediately on the palate, I got the drying effect on the the side of the tongue,
Mm-hmm.
and then after I swallowed it, I still got the full mouth feel that you get from tannins, but and it's still lingering too, like the whole.
It's hanging out. Just hanging out.
You know what? Look, I say it about these brands all the time. It's amazing what they can do when they try.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
and I know it's this is sure, 4 or 5 times the cost of a Jack 7,
Yes.
but it for me it's worth it.
Oh, every
Like
day.
I don't even want to touch
Every day.
the
Every
Jack
day.
7, but this is great. Like, and listen, if rye's not your thing, they got that same offering in a bourbon.
Mm-hmm.
So
It's
if you
actually
want
here
to
tonight. Like I might venture to it at some point, but
see
the rye
now,
is special, bro.
now I'm getting more of the rye, the green apple,
It's so good.
like the mint.
It's so good. Again, I think that is a good bottle,
It,
but this is just in a different
yeah,
weight class,
no, it totally is. I
right?
mean,
Like
it's probably older too.
you know,
Like
you're talking heavyweight boxing and like featherweights.
yeah.
Right?
I mean, this one tries,
Yeah,
this one does,
yeah, yeah.
right?
Like fuck around and find out.
Yeah, like seriously, like they know what they're doing. So there's no age statement on this. Do we
No,
know? Do you happen to know?
no, but I mean,
I'm curious. Oh wait. It might be right here.
is it up there?
It's got a bottling date.
Yeah.
Got
So the bottling date is like last year.
got a barrel date. It does not have a barrel date. It is last year. So Duran's gonna try to see.
See if I can get some information here.
I'm sure it's a range, but my guess is
Age
that
between
it's 7 to 10 years.
4 to 7.
Okay.
4 to 7.
Okay. I can see that.
4 to 7 years.
So being a single barrel, you never know. It's 4 or 6
Yeah.
or 7.
So it's literally, I asked how old is Jack Daniel's single barrel proof rye, and 4 to 7 years is the answer that we got. So there you go. But for 4 to 7 years, that's a damn good bottle.
I'll tell you, it definitely tastes older than 4 years.
It does. I was hard pressed. If I blinded this, I might think it was older than 7.
That, I just said it.
I might think it was older than 7.
To me, it was more like 7 to 10.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah. I mean, so this one here. So I'm going to give a little bit of my thoughts. Entry level, cask strength single barrel rye.
Yes.
Way above an entry level.
Yeah.
This is you're past those entry levels and you're looking for something else.
Yeah. So, and I'll say this, right? If you are new to whiskey bourbon,
Mm-hmm.
that might kill you. Right? Like the proof and the rye together,
right,
might turn you off if you're not experienced.
I mean, the majority of whiskey drinkers drink under 100 proof.
Yes.
So going up to 130, that might not sound like a lot. It's a lot.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
It's a whole bunch. Like it could hurt a little.
But it doesn't drink 130, man.
Doesn't.
Like it drinks maybe 110. Like that drinks so much smoother than its proof.
And that's why the bottle looks the way it does.
Yeah, I can see that.
Because unfortunately, a lot of people taste this, right? Not a lot of new people. I want to be clear about that, right? Because we do this for real. Like, and I've tasted so many bottles. I can't count the amount of bottles that I've tasted at this point in my bourbon whiskey journey. If you're new to bourbon and whiskey, this is not for you because your palate just isn't experienced enough, and it's just going to taste like you're drinking like gasoline. You got to be able to get past the initial burn and all of the stuff that comes with something that's 130 proof to actually taste it. But I promise you, once you get to that level and you get to 130 proof stuff, you'll enjoy it so much more because it is so much more flavorful.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah. And again, I just keep going back to like that color.
Man, it's great.
Absolutely beautiful.
Great. Hey, are we both using our Maker's?
I don't have a Maker's glass. I didn't
glass?
get one. I had to leave early.
No.
I don't know where I got it.
That is a Maker's glass.
I don't know where I got it from.
So I saw it on the bottom of the glass. That's the Maker symbol.
Okay.
So for whatever reason, the stuff has come off. Maybe you put it in the dishwasher?
Nah, I wash all of my glasses by hand.
That's weird.
It never had anything on it. I'm going to be completely honest. I have no idea where this came from.
Okay. Well, it definitely has the Maker's
This is my
symbol on the bottom.
favorite glass to drink from.
No, but I love this shape.
So I'll tell you.
Like I have 2 of these and I love them.
I shouted out my boy James on an episode that we did recently. He has some glasses that he just recently got that I really, really love, and I keep telling him I'm gonna steal one. Like when you're not watching, I'm gonna take one.
Yeah,
it's just gonna disappear.
Right.
So we need to do an episode with him.
Okay.
We've said we're gonna get over. We're gonna check out his theater room and all that good stuff.
Is he the one you FaceTimed me from?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
I know what you're talking about now. So if you don't know, this is supposedly the official Kentucky Bourbon Trail glass. This specific shape, and it's similar to a Glencairn, but wider, I guess. Right.
There's the bananas.
The base is the same size as a Glencairn, but the glass has a little bit wider. You know, the overall profile is wider.
Yeah, it's a little bit better for nosing.
That's why I love it. Right. It makes it to where you're not trying to put your nose in this little opening. Right. And it just, I don't know. I feel like you get more of everything.
Yeah. So I think one of the main problems with traditional Glencairns is it concentrates so much into your nose at one time. This is a little wider, so it helps a bit.
Right. And I've tried to find these like just to order some,
Yeah.
order a pack of 4 or whatever. And
Yeah.
like they're difficult to find.
Yeah. Yeah, they are.
So the other one I got at a distillery in Kentucky
Okay.
when we were up there. And now I wish I would have just, grabbed a box of 4 or something.
Really?
Because they had them just, out, right, for you to purchase.
Okay.
Because this is the Kentucky Bourbon Trail glass.
Yes.
And so that's what they had. They didn't have Glencairns. They had these.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, I think we've got to do our final thoughts.
Yeah, I think we're there. So on the cigar, um, excuse me, I had to get a touch up here. I mean, it's still kind of wonky. I don't know if it's because I'm talking too much or what, but um, I mean, this is a good cigar.
Yeah.
I don't want to knock it. It's a good cigar. I get hung up on the price. I'm with you. I'm a little hung up on the price, and before anyone tries to say, oh, well, you can't include price, right? And I'll say it. You absolutely include price. You include availability too,
Absolutely.
right? I mean, that has to factor into the choice of your cigar, right? This is an investment, right, into your time and into your wallet. So it has to be a good cigar, and then you have to factor in those other two things. We talk about the CAO Amazon Basin is our favorite cigar, but it's impossible to find. Literally impossible to find, right? When they drop them, you buy them by the box, and you buy as many boxes as you can get, and you hoard the damn things.
Yes, very much so.
Because,
very much so.
You just can't get them. But ignoring price, this is a really good cigar. It's not quite the flavor profile that I'm looking for, but I can see this being a favorite of plenty of people.
Yeah.
The other Plasencias are also great cigars, but they're they cost a little bit more. I mean, so here's what I'll say: at this price point, I'd rather have a Padron, 1964. It's cheaper. It's actually cheaper.
This price point, I'm all day, every day looking at the Amazon Basin.
I mean,
good luck finding them.
But I'm saying, so for a similar price and availability, I'd rather just have a Padron.
The other thing I'd probably look at is if you're at a lounge that is on tier for Drew Estate, H99.
Yeah, you're right. I didn't even think about the Ligas. Any Liga. I would take any Liga over this.
So, yeah. Anyway, during your final thoughts, finish
no, you're good. So, I said it earlier. The Smooth Ambler is a good bottle. Mm-hmm. It definitely tries. I think it's an entry level, single barrel cash strength rye. It's not crazy with the proof, right? It's just under 120. I don't know that they could have went any higher, but it's 4 years and it tasted. Mm-hmm. The JD, I'm surprised that it's a 4 to 7 year because it doesn't taste it.
No,
but they've been doing this for like 200 years or whatever, 150 years. So they know what they're doing, right?
They definitely do.
And then they do their mellowing with the charcoal filtering and keep doing what you're doing, JD, with all these special offerings. I know you got to make the number 7, do what you got to do, but don't stop making stuff like this because for people like us, this is great.
Yes,
it's really great. It doesn't taste its proof. It tastes older than what you looked up, and I think it's a great pour.
I don't disagree. My turn?
That's all I got.
All right. So the cigar, I do like it. I like it. Actually, I like it a lot. I just wish it was less expensive. If it was in that $12 to $14 price point, I'd probably smoke them way more than I do.
I agree.
Unfortunately, there are just things at this price point that I would much rather smoke. That's what I got. I think the construction is good. The smoke reduction is good. Overall, it's a very good cigar. As far as the spirits go, Smooth Ambler, you got something. You really do. You have something. As an entry-level rye, it's probably one of the best on the market. As an entry-level rye, make sure you include that caveat, guys. Like, don't take my words out of context and say, oh, he said this is a great rye. Like, it's a great rye as an entry level rye. Jack Daniels, even though I am not a fan of the brand traditionally,
Right.
the single barrels, the barrel proofs, all of those things are phenomenal. Because I remember the first time I brought a very small, like a 375
Yeah,
to
yeah.
your
I
house,
remember that.
and you were like,
Really?
Jack Daniels?
Like, really?
Like, try it. And you were like, oh, that's
actually good.
yeah.
Yeah.
So right, like, so the single
Surprised the hell out of
barrels,
me.
the barrel proofs, that's where it's at, man. Like, and of course, like Jason said, they have to make the standard stuff because that's what sells. Most people are not going to try to be connoisseurs or anything special when it comes to bourbon whiskey or any other spirit. And we don't fashion ourselves as that either, but we drink a little bit better than the average person. So the JD is well worth the buy, especially this bottle as it's the standard fare single barrel proof rye that you can just go pick up at almost any store.
Yeah, they
Um,
got them all over the place.
you're not going to be disappointed when you get it. It does have that traditional banana that you get from Jack Daniels, but it has so many more complexities. So I think what you're hearing from me right now is like of everything that we're doing at this moment between the Smooth Ambler, the cigar, and the JD. The JD is cream of the crop for me right now.
Yeah,
right? Like
I agree.
it overshadows the cigar, it overshadows the Smooth Ambler. I could put the cigar down and drink the JD all night. Probably wouldn't stand very well afterwards, but I could. That being said, y'all know what it is, man. Another episode of High Proof Ashes. I'm Duran, no cool nickname. My partner to the left.
Jason JB Smoke. Y'all put some smoke in the air and fill up those glasses with something nice. See y'all next time.
Yes, sir.